Now looking on the underside of the bumper, just to give you an idea, this is the driver's side muffler. Now if your rear bumper is factory, you should have these plastic tabs, and I'll show you how to remove these. In this case, we have an aftermarket bumper, and we have a combination of plastic tabs and 10mm bolts. There we go. So what we're going to do is remove all of the fasteners underneath, and then we'll continue to the next step. And it's also a good idea to have replacement tabs because these things can break quite easily, and just having them on standby is a good idea. Now looking at the rear tire, just look directly behind it and up. And where the rear bumper meets the frame, you have these connection points. Now, these connection points will be different for your car if you do have the factory rear bumper. In this case, it's aftermarket. But if you have clips or bolts, whatever you have, just remove them and make sure you do both the passenger side and the driver's side. So finally, both bolts have been removed. Also, you have a Phillips size screw right there. Just make sure you do this both on the passenger side and the driver's side. And just to give you an idea where this is, right here is where the tire would live. As you can see, it's been removed. Remove the tire just makes this job a lot easier getting access to the bolts. Now this is looking at the same bolt from a different point of view. Now these strip very easily, and just make sure you put a lot of pressure on the bolt with a screw here, and just replace it. Just a good idea to replace it. You can spray a little WD-40, but it will come out. And coming back on the passenger side, it has a 10mm bolt, so if your car's factory, you should have those Phillips type screws. But again, with this being an aftermarket rear bumper, you just run into these surprises. You know, if you're ever looking to buy a car with an aftermarket bumper and you can just tell that someone has done a lot of modifications, do yourself a favor, walk away, because a lot of times you can be giving yourself a headache just for its looks, you know. Okay, now looking at the rear of the bumper, you should have covers right here and on the passenger side, and you just take off the covers with a flathead, and you should have access to a 10mm bolt. In this case, it's completely missing. The cover's missing and the bolt. But in your car, that's exactly what you need to do. And as a last step, you want to remove this plastic plate in the trunk. And then you have a couple of hooks, which we'll take off right now. You have one right here. Another one right there. And then coming back, you have one of these clips. Okay. And then you just pull back the liner, and right here you have two mounting bolts. As you can see, one is missing, so we just have to remove this guy. On the other side, on the driver's side, these are completely missing, so we'll just replace them with brand new bolts.